Well, good morning. Welcome to Grandfather's Garage. I'm Grandfather. This YouTube channel is for my three grandkids, Anine, Roland, and Una, good morning kids, who unfortunately live too far away to come over on Saturday mornings and hang out in Grandfather's Garage and mess around with stuff. So this is my way of bringing the garage to them so we can do some projects and share life's little tidbits. We're going to build some stuff, we're going to repair lots of stuff. We're going to do some projects in the yard, we're going to do some fishing trips, and hopefully we're going to take some field trips as well. Also, we can just share some experiences. We're happy to have as many additional grandchildren as like to join us. Come along for the ride. We're happy to have you with us this morning, so let's go find out what we're going to work on in the garage next. Come on, let's go to the garage. So I wanted to take a minute and walk you through, this is the Rum Runner. This is our fishing boat. It is a 26-foot Sea Swirl striper. This one was built in 2001. I bought it in 2016, so it was a 15-year-old hull when I bought it. I liked it because the hull was in very good condition. It had a lousy set of engines on it, but the hull was in good condition, so it had a nice wide beam on it, which I liked, and dual engines, which was more appropriate for kind of going offshore. So bought this boat about 4 or 5 years ago and started doing some stuff to it. So the first thing we did is put new engines on it. We took off a couple of 15-year-old old Evinrudes that weren't very good and put on some new Yamaha 4-strokes. Love these engines. They are quiet, efficient, and run like a charm. So very happy with these. And when we did this, we redid all the engineering controls and most of the electronics on the inside as well. So that was the first step. So when we purchased the Rum Runner, she had black anti-fouling paint on the hull, which is where that light gray is now. Anti-fouling paint is very heavy, and it gets painted over and over and over again and never really scraped off very well, so it gets to be a very rough surface on top of being a very, very heavy paint. And one of the things that we did with this boat, because it stays up in a lift and doesn't need anti-fouling paint, is we had it soda blasted. And soda blasted is basically sandblasting with a soda material that is softer and does not screw up the gel coat, and then had it totally repainted with this epoxy with a very light kind of finish on it, so that it goes through the water really well, and took a lot of weight off the boat when we did it. So when this epoxy was done, we picked up probably about 5 knots between the weight and the smoothness of the hull. So it was well worth the effort, and also makes the boat look a little kind of cleaner and newer without all the black kind of chip stuff all over the bottom of it. So happy with that. And when they did that, they were able to kind of go through, and any little gouges that were in the hull, go ahead and fill and patch those in before they painted over it. So, and of course we had to put a new logo on it. So there's the Rum Runner logo that's on the side of the boat. This is the inside cockpit of the Rum Runner. Again, what I liked about it was it's a wide open cockpit, great for fishing, nothing obstructing in the back of the cockpit area, so you can get 2-3 people back here fishing, trolling. Nice kind of cuddy cabin in the front with a porta potty, which is important. And one of the things that we did do is put a new electronics panel in. So that is the Rum Runner. And she's a great fishing boat all around, in very, very good condition, and love it. Alright, good morning. Our project for today is to replace a couple of boat hatches. I've got one flush and one on the back wall, so you can access all the stuff that's inside the boat. And these are kind of flimsy hatches, and what I really don't like is I don't like these knobs. And this one, they had busted the hinge and replaced it with something, so it doesn't really quite fit properly. So we're going to unscrew all these screws around the edge, clean up the edge, put the new hatch in. Hopefully it's going to fit perfectly, and then we'll put the screws back in, and we'll save and reuse all the screws. So that will be the process, and we're going to do both hatches, so we have two matching hatches, and we'll let you see as we go along. So this is the new hatch that's going in, and before I go down, I like to sort of think about the process of what I'm going to be dealing with, what needs to be done, and I take all my tools and lay them out so I make sure that I've got everything I need. And especially if I'm walking down to the boat, I don't want to have to come walking all the way back up to the house because I forgot something. So this is kind of the preliminary. I'll pack all this up in my little carry bag and take it all down to the boat and be ready to rock and roll. So here's what you gotta love about boats, is nothing ever fits like it's planned. So we just put this other piece in here, and you can see along the pencil line we're gonna have to trim out so that the new hatch fits. So take a jigsaw, and you see I've got the towel down here to keep all that stuff from going in the bilge, and you put a level on this first to make sure it's nice and level, though I hope the boat's level. And we'll go from there. So just extra step that we hadn't planned on. Okay, so the hole has been recut to size, and on this inner edge here what I've done is I have laid in silicone just to kind of seal the gap between the bulkheads so that water doesn't sort of drip down and get into there somehow. So just kind of wanted to make sure that's got a nice tight seal on it, and we're going to go ahead and put a nice bead of adhesive, and we are using 4400 marine adhesive, and we'll put that all around this inside edge, set that piece in there, and start putting screws in it. So we'll keep you tuned in. Alright, so plan went as according to plan, and hatch number 1 is in. I will come back around later and clean up the edges. I'm going to wash the boat this afternoon, so I will clean up and probably bleach that fiberglass around the edges a little bit. But she went in nice and snug, she fits good, and closes like a charm. So we're going to take apart number 2 and see if we can get number 2 ironed out. Alright, here is hatch number 2. There's hatch number 1, yay. Hatch number 2, again, it's going to be a little too small. I'm going to have to take about 1/4 of an inch off of the top edge and the bottom edge so that this piece fits. But you'll also notice that I stuffed a towel in there to catch all the garbage, keep it out of the bilge. So we're going to trim this and get it all fit and hopefully size it in. So in a minute. Alright, another job successfully done. Those are the 2 hatches in place. One of them's cracked open so it can dry out and ventilate, and then I will get up in there later today, and well, the boat's going to get a complete wash and wax today anyway, so that job is done, and I'm happy to have those new hatches in place. So until we see you guys again next time, hope you have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Bye bye. Okay, back in the boat again, trying to get these little things wrapped up on the boat, and basically we've got these 2 vent covers. Well, they're not vent covers, I don't know what they are covers, the little patches that they've screwed over the holes in the bulkhead, and they look like stupid. And unfortunately they're at different levels. I have no idea what they were originally for, but we're going to go ahead and take them out, replace them with just sort of a white vent cover, so at least it looks like it was supposed to be there. So we'll unscrew these, scrape off around the edges, probably going to have to enlarge the hole a little bit with a Dremel, and get them in place, and then we'll put them in with the 4400 adhesive and go from there. Okay, this hole has been enlarged, and I've got 4200 all along sort of the inside edge, just to make sure I sort of seal that bulkhead. Don't want any water getting in there and getting into the wood of the bulkhead. And then I've got 4200 around all the edge. So we're just going to set this baby right in, push it straight in, and hopefully she will set nicely. And when we cut the hole on this one, because this one was higher than the one next to it, we cut the hole down here, and on the other one, because it's lower, we'll cut the hole around the top so that it'll start to, won't get them up to where they're even, but it'll make them look a little bit better when you look at them from standing back. So we're going to set this thing in and start working on the second one. Alright, two projects, or one project with two pieces, that something that finally went just kind of the way I was planning on it was going to go. So both of those fit right in. Used the 4200 sealer, and they just set right in. You can see they're a little off center because of where the original holes were, but it sure looks a whole lot better than those patches and pieces that were just screwed into the bulkhead. So anyway, dressed it up a little bit, cleaned it up, so I just have to wash it down and we'll be all set. So that project's done, and that just about wraps the boat, but I got one more quick thing I'm going to show you how we fix. Alright, just kind of wanted to show you this, and I apologize, the boat's up on the lift so it's rocking a little bit, but right here you'll see that the rubber is kind of pulling away from the rub rail, sort of the internal rubber, and what happens is when you occasionally bump the dock, as we all do, it pushes on this rubber piece and pulls it back, and therefore kind of stretches it out of this spot here, so it looks like it's kind of falling apart. The good news is there's a pretty easy fix for it, and it is called this wonderful thing, which is a black rubber mallet. And what I'm going to do is, and I won't try and do it at the same time I'm filming because I'll probably drop the camera and the hammer overboard, but basically we're going to just tap on this inner piece of rubber and tap it forward and kind of stretch it forward so that it'll fit back into that place in the bend. So it'll take a couple good whacks, and we're going to kind of stretch it going forward as opposed to hitting the piling going the other direction, which is what pulls it out. So we'll take a couple whacks at it and then turn the camera back on and let you see how we did. Okay, you can see that that rubber piece is sort of fit right back into the corner with a couple good taps, and just sort of brought the inner rubber piece back along with it, and she is back and snug. So that part's all good, and that about does it for the Rum Runner for the day. Next, I think you're going to see the Rum Runner. We're going to get her all decorated up because we're going to lead the 4th of July parade around the island. So look forward to the next video that has us all decked out in 4th of July regalia. We'll see you guys soon.